and not be biased and start, violating my copyrights infringement, taking the video and then changing the motives of people and certain things of it, and then get published, and then I'm penalized. That's personal. That's personal. Like, and then the system is gaining from this, putting people in these systems that it monetize itself as well. I'm going through a nightmare, right? Then you understand why I was reaching out for the UN. I'm reaching out for the UN. Tallahassee doesn't want to get involved, so I'm stuck with the judge. I had a lawyer, so I could say, okay, is this because I don't have a lawyer? No. But am I going to keep paying a lawyer if she's going to deny everything, and she's letting the petitioner go months, 2 times the program that she was giving me for visitation and time sharing rights? The judge was she was not ruling on the fact that she's a violator. She violated my rights. And then now what happened was that it turns out that the mother, she pops out, and after all these non-show up of court, and me continuously going on with my violation of my rights, and my son, my son being in this situation where she's keeping me from my son, she's keeping me from being with my son, and I can't reach my son. It's in her control whenever she wants, and she could have that control. She's neglecting the fact that my son and my visitation rights of us being together, is a right. Whether it's a privilege or not, who wants to be there in the predicament of being there for them sons and their child, that's whoever wants to. So you can see what direction I've always been in. I've been on top of this, and then what happens? She don't pop up for no hearing, and then the judge doesn't want to rule out on it, so I could be free from this. Yeah, I'm trapped. I'm trapped in this system where the judge has control, and then the petitioner has control, when it's the judge's own court order for it to follow, and then here's the court order being broken repeatedly 3 times, and then the judge just doesn't want to rule, and then what happens is that they find she pops up, and she was jailed for battery, assault. No child's got taken away, 0 custody of any other child, with a stabbing involved, putting the child in an endangered environment. So you tell me that me going to the UN and the UN not responding, I was overreacting. I was overreacting when I got a letter from Tallahassee saying they don't want to be involved. But who's doing an investigation here, right? And then you see the presence of what it's out here with the mayor. What assistance the mayor is giving is just all their mind games with people actually going through situations, and they feel they can make themselves look good between what's really happening in the county and laws they want to change for court that caters to the judges are taking advantage of the courts and the kids. They're not helping the kids. They ain't helping me with any of those laws, and I'm overreacting. with my opinions and my analyzations of everything that's going on in my situation for my son. And I'm over. So I love you, Papi. So this is so you can see that I took my steps to take care of you, and I never let you down or let any child in any predicament like this down. I would never put another face to what's really happening and paint a picture so it could look good for people to come and continue these hurtful, harmful, mental, physically, economically, like hurtful things that you could do to a person so they can't live in a community, and have just certain people favor certain people and certain things and cater to their wellness to hurt and keep people oppressed and hurt through a system that will authorize this way of living for people, hurtfully, neglectfully, fraud. And you're gonna tell me that everything I was saying was a lie and was against me or my son? Nothing. I speak nothing that is hurtful, but everything that is to free myself, free our minds, and free us from any of these dangers. And yes, I took every step I needed to take. No exaggeration. All the facts. I don't have time to be wasting taxpayers' money in court to continuously have this go on in court like this. These are not my actions. My actions is my son, going for my son, and people around that, and taking that away from me and taking that away from a child are the ones wasting the taxpayers' money's funds, continuously having you in the system to come and not making a case, not making decisions, and then they give it off to the next judge. She gave it. You know what she ended up doing? The judge ended up taking herself out of the case then, after probably finding out before I did, because I didn't even know you could just take yourself out of the case when you need to make a ruling for something. And then after she took herself out of the case, they call me and say that she took herself out of the case. The case is in another juridical case it went from a DV to a family court. Family court. I filed for family court last year to get custody for him, and I couldn't serve him because of the injunction that this judge, now she takes herself out of the case now. She gave the injunction approval to the petitioner that kept my son away from me and kept the neglection of keeping my son away, like basically abducted, kidnapped, and I'm expressing this in every way. And then I have to be brainwashed into, the judge has me doing all these like classes, which I have done, and then this has nothing to do. It was never a physical or anything that had to do with like any physical domestic, or there was no domestic violence or physical like contact of any like actions of any aggressions like that in any other of the injunction of what she was claiming in the injunction. So I did the brainwashing thing, and it was awful and it was harmful, the whole thing. And I still didn't get what I was supposed to get at the end of the day, because I had to